All right. Well, thanks, Vince, for having us out. One thing I wanted to start. So LASE.com, if you want to go to LASE.com, that's our ticker symbol.com, and you can get all the information. You get our IR deck. You can get anything you want right there, the financials and all that stuff like that. Lasers touch pretty much everything that you do, eat, use, products, pharma, you name it, lasers are involved, right? So Laser Photonics started a while back in industrial lasers, cleaning, edging, marking, but those are kind of now become commodities. So the technology is pretty much remote. Everybody has some version of laser technology. We have our spins on it, and we make really good products. But the idea now is not necessarily do we have a laser, is like what can we use those lasers for, and how can we help other companies utilize laser technology to either update some outdated types of ways of dealing with waste or corrosion, or in the pharmaceutical markets where we do pill drilling for slow release tablets, or just to show you how the applications vary. Or a real American beer product, if you want to play there, I can just kind of highlight some stuff we do in that realm, right? So this is nucleated glass. So we laser etch the actual glass so that it carbonates at specific spots on the glass. So we can print anything on a glass and make it carbonate your logo. If you want the beer to have a specific head on it, you can do that in the glass itself. So you can see the difference. Just kind of give an idea, like, I found that application after talking with Andy over there, and just that's how how many just a conversation you can talk about and have that laser technology influence that specific.
Any presentation that starts with beer is a good presentation.
Yeah. I thought that's a good. Yeah. They're going to buy a system. They're about 1.2 million. We'll figure that out. Yeah, we'll get you a system.
We'll get you 3.
I'll give you guys a little bit about what our strategy is. So like I said before, we've been in the industrial laser business for a long time, but just recently we've gone through some mergers and acquisitions to try to actually isolate specific niche groups of companies. So a lot of these companies here, Beamer, Laser, not Phonon Technologies, we'll get to that, but Beamer and CMS were kind of distressed companies in our field because they were going after super niche markets, right? So what we wanted to do was take these distressed companies in their niche markets and broaden their markets. So giving them a full scale of now, like Laser Photonics, we own Beamer, we own CMS. CMS is who made the nucleated glass. They're key contributors to AI automation, machine learning, machine vision. So they do a lot of stuff in that space currently. So when we bought them, they had 40 years in that business altogether. So, but they weren't making ends meet with their current model. So we were able to take over their C-suite and, help them, take over sales and marketing, give them common resources. And so now that we can just focus on engineering and getting them kind of up to where they need to be. But the other aspect is Beamer Laser Marking Systems. They're also around for 20 or 30 years, have a very big clientele in Fortune 1000 companies, very good name in the industry, same kind of situation, and then we were able to help them out. But now we were able to utilize their distribution because they had actually some better distributors than Laser Photonics did. We were able to use their Rolodex to incorporate CMS and Laser Photonics into that. So just being able to take those companies, put them together as one, and then kind of pollinate. Actually, each one of those two also gave us different verticals that we weren't currently in. We might have played a little bit into them, but CMS lasers are big into the pill drilling, and we have a slide on that a little bit later. But so they're big into the pharma. So that was an aspect. We got not only the automation, but the pharma vertical. And then Beamer is also good in the semiconductor field. So we got kind of their technology plus their vertical. And then we were big players in the industrial verticals. And then also Phonon Tech, which Brian is vice president of, is our DoD. So that's our Department of Defense sector. So
Department of War.
Yeah, Department of War, sorry. I stand corrected. So that's just kind of I just want to give you guys a strategy of kind of what we were doing and how we're doing it. Because like I said, the lasers itself are getting to be kind of a commodity, but how you use them is where we see the future. And that's why we've been closing some deals in each of those verticals. So 2025 was getting these companies together, kind of making that infrastructure, get our sales and marketing in order. because that's in and of itself is hard. 3 different locations in Florida. We need to consolidate that to one. We have to, that's all in process, but that stuff takes time. But the idea is, can we play into those verticals? Can we cross-sell our equipment? So can we sell Laser Photonics equipment into CMS Rolodex? Can we sell Beamer equipment into Laser Photonics? And that's what we've been proving out. So 2025 was great for us. Our Q1 was 307% increase in revenue. And it was just a testament to the fact that we were able to do what we said we thought we would be able to do, and that's cross-sell into those verticals and then open those verticals. So 2026 now is ramping up sales and marketing, getting some infrastructure pieces, right-sizing some of the budgetary stuff, and then we're going to use that to ramp off. So we're going to see now we can play in these verticals. We know the customers. We've marketed to the customers. They've been receptive. Now can we scale them? So can we actually be big players in each one of those segments? So that's the aim for 2026. This is just a breakdown of where we see the market. So 2025, we got $42.8 billion. It's probably a little bit larger than that. And then I'll let Brian talk to some of the cool stuff we're doing on the other side of things on the Department of War side, which are super interesting, which again is a testament to, hey, we have the laser technology. What applications can we go after that can make a difference for the company and for the shareholders? People understand these are the companies that we work with and do deals with every day. So GE, Coca-Cola. I mean, the list is super long. So I didn't even name most of them. So NASA, Blue Origin. So you name it, we've probably sold to them. This was our core technology, or is our core technology, which still pays the bills. So laser cleaning, welding, cutting, marking, engraving. And we're still doing that at a high level. And just so you guys can understand what laser ablation is, okay, it's using lasers to ablate material, so this is a metal substrate. And the thing about lasers is they absorb at different levels. So depending on what kind of lasers you use, it absorbs actually into the metal and then it burns off whatever is on top of the metal. So it doesn't affect the metal or the metal substrate, and then it burns off and aerosols anything that is above that substrate, which is key for what Brian's doing with the Department of War and dealing with their $23 billion corrosion problem. And I say $23 billion market because that's what they've allocated for corrosion only. So
there's a specific line item for corrosion, and it's growing every year. It's just a continuous problem. So
I'm sure you guys heard when Trump said, "Clean the damn rust off the chips." Yeah. So we went on social media and went all over that, and that we actually closed deals because of those statements. Yeah. This is our clean tech, and we play in all the different markets with just even our clean tech stuff. So military, automotive, air, oil, gas, nuclear. So we do a lot of stuff we're working on some projects currently where we have robots, AI-driven robots with laser systems on nuclear remediation. So humans can't go into some of these spots where a valve breaks in a nuclear plant. They can't go in there to clean it up.
Can I speak to that real fast?
Yeah,
I won't tell you which site it is, but there's a current nuclear facility that has 2 spaces where a pump's leaking, and it's costing them $100,000 to $150,000 a day. But the millirams are so high that they can't send humans in there to repair the pump. So the idea is we would partner with a robotics company, put our laser head on the end of it, integrated with their shielded system, go into that space, remediate the concrete where the water's going onto it, and get the millirads down low enough that they can go in there and replace that pump. So that's one of the current conversations that we're having right now we're partnering with a robotics company, but we're in discussions with that nuclear site for that technology.
So yeah, we deal with Aerospace. We just did we can't say the name of the company, but we did a big deal with the Aerospace company just recently, in the last couple of weeks. We do EV, so when you have batteries, so the connections on the batteries need to be laser cleaned. They find out that if they laser clean these before they connect them, that the batteries have 35 to 40% more battery life to them. So that's a big deal. Space exploration, you can talk to that.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff, I don't try to talk around it, but I have NDAs in place. So we're working with one of the major government primes to partner with NASA. If you go out and just Google the HALO program, there's a lunar capsule that they're building right now to actually be an international space station that's going to circle the moon in the coming years. And if you Google it, you're going to know who I'm working with. So it's not that big of a secret. But I won't go any more in exactly what we're trying to do, but there's a major demand for lasers, and it's growing every single day.
All right, so then we talked about categories that, verticals we're attacking. So semiconductor is one of the big verticals that we are attacking. We have some key technology in that area that we actually haven't really commercialized. We've commercialized parts of it. We have IP associated with it, but that's moving forward to something that we're going to move on in the next coming years. Is to, and some of that is the zero waste, zero material loss, wafer dicing. So and we do have automated systems through CMS that actually have wafer dicing automation. These are $1 million systems. We currently have those in production. So, and then we talked about AI and robotics. So a lot of the things, even like the pill drilling system that we have. So basically, the time release tablets that you've seen advertised, they're used lasers to actually bore a hole in the actual tablet to help release that at specific times in your digestion process. So they do it in specific points in that pill to release that API at the right time in the right way.
And they can do up to 130,000 pills a minute.
Right, so that's what I was getting into. So we have machine vision and machine learning that we actually ablate these pills in motion. So they're actually being, put through the system, thousands and thousands and thousands of pills per minute, right? So they're going through the system and they're getting ablated precisely while moving, and that's part of the machine learning. That's part of the machine vision that we're incorporating into our systems. So, like I said, it used to be about the lasers because these were handheld lasers that people used, and now it's all about class 1, fully enclosed, automated systems that have AI, robotics. We have welding systems that will actually use machine vision to look at the weld and reject it or accept it. So just ways that we can incorporate new technology into these systems.
Yeah, so Brian Lee, I'm a retired Navy officer, been in the government sales space since 2017, been with Phonon Technologies, which again is the government sales arm. It's not owned by LASE, but we're all housed in the same building. So we're doing some really cool stuff. We sell to the government. Our systems are compliant, which means they don't have Chinese sourced lasers and things like that. We source from different companies so the government can buy those. And we have the same demand, the laser etching and engraving, the ablation processes, that's growing faster and faster every day. The Marine Corps just bought a couple of units that they're using for support equipment. The Navy shipyards are really hot and heavy in incorporating the laser ablation technology. Some of the really more exciting stuff, I think, in the whole evolution of warfare, we studied Clausewitz in the military, and there's always a change in how wars are fought. If you read the news today, you'll hear about the drones capabilities. You can take a $150 drone and you destroy a tank with it. So the idea is people are developing these counter drone systems with these massive megawatt lasers, but that's designed to kill really big drones like our Predator, for instance. So what we're doing is we have a laser shield anti-drone system. The concept behind that is it will take a much lower power laser, use our quantum technology that we have to boost the energy level, and it'll put up like a shield, and it will be able to engage multiple groups 1 and group 2, which is 135 pounds and less. So it's something we have in development. We're in discussions with several consortiums right now, and we're always looking for partners out there. If you go out and look up, the drone warfare, the market, the Department of Homeland Security recently allocated $120 million specifically to acquire and mass produce. And then the Department of War has put out executive orders and to bring domestic production of drones back to the United States for obvious reasons. But there's a natural counterpart to that, which is the counter drone capability. And we believe we have a product right now that's going to completely radically change how that industry approaches drones. So we have also a patent, which I could talk to more if one-on-one about it. Additive manufacturing, 3D printing, you see that right there, that's a huge market out there. We had our patents were Los Alamos laboratories used them for years. We recently got those back. The idea is you take a material and you build a function. So in the military, the big catchphrases right now are counter drone, corrosion, additive manufacturing, and how to do that in an expeditionary environment. So our system is able to take the actual metal created in an enclosed environment, produce the powder, which makes it consistent, and then reproduce the items on the backside, all inside the same system. And we have some classified patents for that as well, but it's different because they don't really have the quality controls of the actual powder they use to build these things. So some of the issues they're having when they're doing these additive manufacturing processes is that it's not at high enough quality because the metals itself wasn't consistent. So our system completely changes how that does that. And we're looking for partners on the Phonon Technology side, specifically on products. Obviously, investor relations on the LASE side is great too, but we're doing some really cool stuff on the government side, which is completely different than what you'll see anywhere else.
Well, yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your time.